Okay, so anyways, so we had to hire this attorney. It was like a $5,000 retainer. Okay, first of all, we didn't have money. Like, we did not have money. Okay, so luckily we could even do that. This man was so useless. Like, I cannot even tell you. He had been working in family court for so many fucking years. Like, but he was so seasoned. We'll call him seasoned. He was old. So he put on like a good front, like a good, game face. He made it sound like he cared, like he was gonna actually do something, try to do something. Okay, any lawyer that was worth half a shit would have gotten this case completely thrown out. Okay, because it was illegal. It was ridiculous. There was no due process. It was fucking ridiculous. Anyways, he had another lawyer that worked for him in his office that was actually like smart. She was good. She knew what she was doing, and she actually wanted to like help children. And she wouldn't even like bring up certain things that needed to be brought up because she was like so disheartened with the system. She was like, it's not going to work. They're not going to care. And me, this was my first experience with it. So I was just like, I don't care. Say what I'm telling you to say. Show them what I'm telling you to show them. You know what I mean? And like, she started taking over my cases, and she did help a lot more than this original useless attorney. But even still, like I said, like, she wouldn't bring up certain things. So she's like, they're not going to care. Like, they have to care. It's the law. And if they don't care, then they are breaking the law, which apparently they do most of the time in family court. Okay. So I went to court for 9 months for this shit on a case that had no investigation, no warrants, no nothing. They didn't have anything. And there was such a fucking illegal startup, like I said, violation of due process. We never got served a certificate of service. We never got a shelter hearing. That is all grounds to throw out the case. Plus, this little factor, we lived in Pasco County at the time. This case was in Pinellas, where we happened to be when we were at the Walmart. Okay, normally this would have gotten transferred to the county where we lived in, but this didn't for some reason. They made a big stink about it. Now I understand why that is, because that county, they wanted to keep it in because they were all in on it together with this sadistic woman, his mother, my ex-mother, monster-in-law from hell. Okay, no idea that she was even in on it. Of course she works for DCF, like Eastern Stars, DCF. When you're in traffic and then there's children that shouldn't be there. Catch my drift? Okay, I'm putting it down, you pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, 9 months. 9 fucking months. I studied family law. I studied the statutes for our state. I learned freaking everything. I had the statute number, how they broke the law. I had case laws to go back that up. I had everything. I mean, I'm telling you, like, this is all that I did with my time, literally, is study this law so that I could get these people back and get my fucking children. Okay? So I knew my shit. I had everything ready. And if this was any kind of normal legal process, it would have been open and shut. I mean, it wouldn't have even gotten started, if we're getting real. Anyways, so it gets to the point where it's 9 months. We had to take it to trial because they're not wanting to budge. I'm still not even allowed to have unsupervised visitation. We're getting visitation once a week for an hour that I have to have supervised. Okay, like I said, with no due process, no legal basis, no warrants, no legal ones, no warrants at the time of the seizure. We'll call it the illegal seizure of the children. Okay, all right. Anyways, so here we go to trial. I have this attorney that is the woman that was smart. Okay, our trial went past 1 day. Okay, now obviously it's not going the way that we want it to go. Even though, all of the people that we have on our side, testifying for us have all said nothing but good things because we were good parents. You know what I'm saying? This was bullshit. It was all bullshit. So they're still like, oh, well, whatever the fuck they say. They say whatever they can to feed their bullshit. If you've been through it, you understand. But if you haven't, like, it literally makes no sense. You think that you're in I don't know, is this real? Is this a movie? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, this is so illegal. It's not even funny. It's crazy. Family court it needs to be dismantled. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so it goes to that's the first day. Okay, because now it's 5 o'clock. So from the morning till 5 o'clock, we are in trial. Going over nothing, literally nothing, because everything that they had in the paperwork was a lie. It was all lies. They took charges from my counterparts and added them onto mine. They just doubled ones. They just made ones up and put it in there. They added in things that weren't even true. Our discovery was the most ridiculously fabricated thing that I've ever seen in my life. It was like, who are these people that this is talking about? It was so ridiculous. Anyways, so after that first day, like I said, my attorney, she was not saying things that I wanted her to say. She wasn't bringing up things I wanted her to bring up. And I was getting fucking irritated. This is a life or death situation at this point. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not oh, well, you lose and you go to probation. If I lost, they get guardianship of my children. permanently and I lose my parental rights. Like, this is a big fucking deal. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so I fired my attorney. I said, fuck this. I'm going to do it myself. I will defend myself. So the next trial day I show up, it's online or whatever, and my attorney's not there, obviously. And they're like, where's your attorney? And I was like, yeah, I fired her. Basically, I said it more professionally. And I'm going to be defending myself. Like, I already contacted the courts and I sent, this, but I didn't get any response, surprisingly. Nobody responded to me or even read my shit. And like, oh, well, I never saw that. It's like, well, I sent it to your judge's assistant and, like, whatever. So he's like asking me questions and see if I'm competent. And he's like, have you studied the law? And I'm like, extensively, like thinking like every day for 9 fucking months. You know what I'm saying? And so he asked like the other people and they're like, if it's okay with the other attorneys, and they're like, it's okay with me. It's okay with me. Like, they're probably like, fuck yeah, like this is going to be easy. No, no. So I got to question the agent, whatever, the CPS agent that did this whole thing. She wasn't ready. Anyways, this is how I found out that the judge was in on it too. Okay. Before this, I couldn't really tell. I thought maybe he was like a good, reasonable person. Not so much. So now we got this day till 5 o'clock. I'm arguing with him because I'm fucking right. I'm saying, yeah, but you did not have subject matter jurisdiction. There was no due process. Like, basically, you need to throw the fucking case out. Obviously, I didn't say those exact words. And so now we're getting to 5. So the judge says, okay, well, we're to the end of the day now. We're going to need to finish up. So this is what we're going to do. I want you guys and your attorneys, he's my counterpart's attorney and then me, to send case laws showing your side. And then the other side send case laws. And I'm thinking, done. Like, I got case laws for days proving that I'm fucking right. Okay. Not realizing that he was just trying to shut me up because he knew I was right and he couldn't argue with me anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the next hearing, or like the final, the decision of the hearing after the case laws, was over the phone. Okay. So it's over the phone. So the judge says, well, I have decided that, basically he said that they had some kind of right, whatever, say some bullshit that was not true, but that he was going to grant me my children back under the condition that I made my counterpart leave. He couldn't live there anymore. And I was just like, to run it, we didn't give a fuck. Give me the kids. It doesn't matter. Just give me my, we were at that point, we're like, whatever, just, okay. So anyways, which was still bullshit because they should have thrown the case out. They didn't have any right to even say, who could be around them. And then I had to go through, these classes like once a week and have like an officer come check on me every so often and like make sure everything, make sure that everything was running, everything was clean, the kids were taken care of. Like, it was bullshit. It was completely illegal. It was ridiculous. Anyways, I got through it and did this whole process, graduated from that, and we got to finish that out. Even though it was illegal, like, there wasn't too much I could do. I tried filling out an appeal. The appeal process going without an attorney is like, it got denied. They didn't even read it, first of all. They didn't even read my appeal because it is another thing. If the appellate court would have even looked at my appeal, which I spent a long time on, it would have been granted because it had every legal basis and like, it was perfect. Okay. This is a joke. Fucking family court is a joke. Anyways, I am now realizing, of course, that, these people's connection in the whole thing. So my in-laws, meaning mostly the mother, her brothers, this aunt, sister that had control of my kids for freaking ever when they were getting paid for the shit. When I tell you these people are so fucking twisted, it's not even funny. And they were like smiling in my face the whole time, acting like they were on our